Welcome dear students to the lecture series of Advanced Java. I am Shruti Agnik and today we are going to study about the callable statement interface. The callable statement interface is also derived from the statement interface and resides in the java.sql package. Let us study more about it as well as a simple program and programmatically watch how this interface works. So let's begin. The callable statement is basically used to access the database stored procedures. Now you already are familiar with a stored procedure. It is nothing but a simple block of code in which you have your SQL statements, and it can be used in cases or in applications where there is a single query which doesn't need to be changed and also needs to be called multiple number of times. So in order to stop writing that query each and every time when you need it, you are just creating it somewhere as a stored procedure or a function that is to be called as and when needed. So it will reduce your line of code. So this stored procedure can be called using the callable statement interface. So let's see this practically with the help of a program. In this program, we are going to create a stored procedure. We are going to access this stored procedure using a Java code and using the callable statement interface. And also we will learn how to pass the parameters to these stored procedures. So let's begin. Hello students, welcome to the programming session of callable statement interface. In this particular program, we are going to create a stored procedure. We are going to call that stored procedure and we are going to pass parameters into the stored procedure. You are familiar that a stored procedure is a place where you are specifying your SQL query which needs to be used as and when or very frequently into your program. So what you can do is you can specify it at a particular place and call it as and when necessary instead of writing it everywhere where you want to use it, so that you can decrease the line of code and you can make your program more flexible and error identification can be made easy. So let's begin. We will begin by creating a stored procedure first. So let us move here. This is my database student in which I have a table called student. These are my data. Now to create a stored procedure, move on to the SQL tab. Into the SQL tab, first thing you will do is you will write your insert query. The data that you are going to insert is 4 and PQRST. Okay, next is you will add a semicolon. You will create procedure and stored proc. You will begin and you will end. The delimiters that you will add here are $, and this is how you can create a stored procedure. We move on to Go. Now when you refresh here, you will be able to see a procedures added in which you have your stored procedure here. Okay, we will be simply calling this procedure as and when needed in our whole project. Okay, so let me just comment this section. We don't need queries here now, as we are going to call stored procedures, a separate place where you can handle your SQL queries. We'll just be calling them. So you don't need to write your queries into your programming language. Okay, now we will create a callable statement reference, CLBSTMT. Okay, next is your callable statement will be empty initially, and you are going to use a new method, prepare call. Now this prepare call method can be used here because it returns callable statement. When you were using the statement interface, you were using the con.create statement method, which was of the connection interface. When you were using the prepared statement, you were using the prepare prepare statement method of the connection interface, and when you are using callable statements, you are going to use the prepare call method of the connection interface. Now this prepare call also takes in a string and it is returning callable statement. So let us see what it does. Prepare call, and this prepare call is going to return callable statement. So I am storing it in callable statement. Now what you are going to write inside, it is preparing a call, so it will prepare a call to the stored procedure. So here you have to specify the name of your stored procedure. So you have the keyword call and then the name of your stored procedure. Is it stored proc? Let me just check. Stored proc, yes. So it is stored proc. Okay, so you can call it here. Now inside your stored procedure you have an insert statement, so you have to use either your execute method or your execute update method. You cannot use execute query method. Okay, so we are going to use execute update. So we can write callable statement dot execute update. It is going to return an integer row, and number of rows affected we can directly print. Plus rows. We can run the program and check. Rows affected 1. So let us move on to here into the tables and check. We have 4 PQRST. We shall now try to execute multiple queries via stored procedures. So we will create a new stored procedure which is on stored table. We will first create a procedure. Multiple queries begin and end. Okay, we will write 2 queries here. The first one will be inserting and the next one will be deleting. Okay, so we are inserting as well as deleting. We will do this here and we will delete here. It's 15. Okay, and delimiters we will change. Delims we will do $. Okay, create procedure, begin, insert these 2 and delete from where ID is 15. We don't have 15, so let us make it 3 because we have a data for 3. Okay, and we can fire on go. Okay, so we have created a new stored procedure. Okay, multiple queries. So here I have 2 different queries. Now I will try executing multiple queries here. So what I need to do is I just need to call my stored procedure here. Multiple queries, and let me just both are update, insert and delete. I'm doing 2 operations so they can be executed via the execute update method. You can also use the execute method, but please remember it is going to return boolean here. Okay, so let me run this program and check. Okay, rows affected is 1. Let us see whether it is deleting my data from the table. Okay, see, 3 deleted and 25 inserted. Okay, so rows affected is this. It is going to return 1 because it is going to return me the result of the first query which is executed. Hence the number of rows affected is 1. Okay, in spite of doing two different operations, it is returning only one, because it is returning the result of the first query, that is your insert query. My first query was insert supposedly. Yes, so it is returning the result of this. Okay, it is not returning the result of this, right?